Announced on June 6, the M2 MacBook Air is more hated than loved. The notch, again, rectangular shape, and the most painful thing is the price. But what if I tell you about 5 reasons to get the M2 MacBook Air despite all the negative reviews? This perhaps will be the biggest point, since the design of a device plays a huge role. Which processor will be used, which cooling system, weight, dimensions of the device, and so on. And for the first time in a long time, Apple introduced a completely fresh design for the MacBook Air line. Let me remind you that this is how the previous model looks like. We have the bottom part of the MacBook tapering to the front edge, thanks to which our hands rest comfortably on the keyboard. But the new MacBook with the M2 chip will now have a rectangular shape, and many people began to criticize the design because this shape caused some pain while using the Pro models. The edge puts a lot of pressure on the wrist. But these conclusions fortunately were incorrect. Not everyone takes this into account, but the difference between the 16-inch MacBook Pro and the new Air is almost 5 millimeters. This is a rough example, but if you take the iPhone 13 in the original case, the thickness will be approximately 11 millimeters, and the thickness of the M2 MacBook Air is 11.3 millimeters. And here's how it looks compared to the M1 MacBook Air. If you remove the case, the original thickness of the iPhone 13 is 7.65 millimeters, and the approximate thickness of the bottom part of the M2 MacBook Air is 7.5 millimeters. Now try placing your hand on the iPhone 13. I don't know about you, but I don't feel any pain at all. Yes, perhaps the real feelings will be different, but at the moment, this problem is clearly exaggerated and overblown. If earlier your hands got used to the wedge shape, then it will be very easy to get used to the new shape. It's pretty thin. And if you didn't have a MacBook, then your impressions will be the brightest in a good way. The touchpad has remained the same, it's as big as before, and the Magic Keyboard feels almost the same, but it has become more like the keyboard in the new MacBook Pro. Even the Touch ID button is the same. However, in the MacBook Pro, the keyboard background is black, and here the background is the same color as the MacBook body. And the body now comes in 4 finishes: Midnight, Starlight, Space Gray, and Silver. I've already got my eye on the Midnight color. Love it. In general, the MacBook has become a little lighter, about 50 grams lighter, while the screen size is now 0.3 inches larger. But let's be honest, we love Apple products not only for its beauty, but also for the hardware. If you are already a MacBook user, then you are familiar with the fact that the Air model doesn't always withstand heavy apps and tasks. Its performance was enough in all everyday applications. It was even possible to edit videos and raw photos in Lightroom, but it starts to suffer from heavy graphic tasks. Now, will our life get easier with the new MacBook? Maybe. The CPU of the new M2 chip is 18% faster, the GPU is 35% faster, and the neural engine is 40% faster than its predecessor, M1. In general, the M2 has an 8-core CPU with 4 performance cores and 4 efficiency cores, and the second generation 5nm process, 10 GPU cores, and support up to 24 GB of unified memory. In the M1, you get a maximum of 16 gigs. The maximum SSD capacity is 2 TB. The M2 chip is also suitable for working with ProRes because it has the media engine that includes decode and encode engines. We haven't tested the new MacBook yet, but based on data from Apple, we came up with these numbers. Rendering the video on the M1 Air will take 10 minutes, and on the M2 Air, about 6.5 minutes. Or take, for example, decoding video in ProRes, there is a 3-fold increase in performance. If you're new to MacBooks and you don't know what all these numbers mean, then I would say this. M1 Air is a great laptop, but for light and medium tasks. M2 Air is already getting closer to the results that Pro models give us. So with the M2, you can accomplish more goals related to graphics. The third reason is the pain of many users: battery life. The M1 Air is loaded with a 49.9 watt-hour battery, and the new one is 52.6 watt-hour. It doesn't seem to be much, but having extra work time is always an upside. And don't forget that the new M2 chip is more powerful, and therefore you also save time on renders, builds, stuff like that. The new MacBook Air now supports MagSafe. If you don't know what it is, this is a magnetic charging system, and I'm very happy that it's back. Now you cannot be afraid to push down the cable, which will immediately drag the laptop down. As a rule, gravity wins. I'm sure everyone has a story with a laptop flying off the table because it's connected via a solid USB-C, so if you've already experienced a dramatic fall, then from now on, you can forget about this risk. Makes life so much easier. easier. By default, the new MacBook Air comes with a 30-watt power adapter, but it can be upgraded to a 67-watt adapter. Also, Apple made it possible to charge two devices from the new power adapter at once, so maybe a hint to buy two devices at once. Interesting. Now we get a webcam with 1080p resolution and low-light image enhancement technology. If you regularly call clients or colleagues, then this upgrade might be the key reason for you to upgrade to the new M2 MacBook Air. The MacBook also has 3 new microphones built in. Apple assures that the recording quality has become even better, and now you can even record podcasts on it. Again, we'll see, but I doubt that they decided to cheat here. And the coolest thing for those of you who work with video and audio, listen to music, or just watch videos is 4 Dolby Atmos speakers in the M2 Air. As Apple says, it sounds great. By the way, the sound in the M1 Air was not bad, but Apple didn't put such an emphasis on it, even on the product page. And now it has clearly become better, and I would really like to listen to how it sounds. Combining all the above-mentioned changes together, I would like to say that the M2 is an improved version of the M1 that makes the MacBook Air on the M1 useless? No, of course not. If you already have the M1 Air, I would not upgrade to the M2. Although we'll get changes, but they're not dramatic. And if you're just entering Apple's Mac universe, or you have an old MacBook, then definitely go with the M2. It will be your friend for many years to come. And what do you think about the M2 Air? Will you get it, or the M1 is a way better deal? And check out this video and this one, smash the like button if you like this one, and see you in the next one.